This show is brought to you by HostBaby.com, web hosting for musicians.
It's episode 18 of Music Marketing Monday, and on this one, we talk about how to step into your power as an artist. That's right, becoming an empowered artist. It's such a crucial topic. We're devoting a whole episode to it. You ready to rock, Billy?
I am!
Let's do this!
Information, inspiration, motivation for the modern musicpreneur.
Time to start your week right.
Here it comes, Music Marketing Monday, with your host, Bob Baker,
Mr. Buzz Factor,
and Billy Gryzak.
the music marketing mind.
Ready? Are you sure?
Set.
Here it comes. Swing, baby.
Scene 1. We zoom in to normal, everyday, average, creative person as he steps into the phone booth, takes off his sunglasses, and opens up his shirt to reveal empowered artist. Yes, hey, it's Billy Gryzak, the Music Marketing Mind, and
Bob Baker, Mr. Buzz Factor, here with you on another Monday.
And we are here to share with you some supercharged powers, audio caffeine, something we haven't said for a while, and hopefully some entertaining and can't live without information for you, the soon-to-be empowered artist.
That's right. I like your analogy of the superhero. That was pretty cool. Step into a nearby phone booth, and he's got, I guess, instead of an S, what would it be? I guess EA? Empowered artist.
I guess. Or maybe just A, just A.
Hey, as long as it stands for artist. There's a lot of possibilities there. But,
there you go, man. Yeah.
Let's go with artist.
So, Bob, you've got something really incredible going on. I'm just going to jump right into this because, you used to be mild-mannered, Bob Baker, author and whatnot, but you're like leading like a revolution, like a movement. I mean, you've got a tribe and you're trying to change the world. And I'm really excited. Why don't you tell everybody about what it is you got going on?
Yeah, well, this was, this is all revolving around my first ever fan funding campaign. I think I mentioned it in the last episode or two, but it's bigger than that. I mean, the official fan funding campaign, it ends on July 2nd, which by the time this airs, you'll have about a week or so before that ends. But even after July 2nd, if you catch this whatever year, I plan on making this sort of an ongoing activity as long as I get support from the artist community, which I have been so far. But yeah, so I guess I want to take some of my own advice. I've been sort of, even though marketing has been sort of my main topic, music started with music marketing specifically, then it sort of expanded into, book marketing and publishing when I had success as an author. But as I've talked about on a number of these episodes, I have a lot of creative interests in my, not only in my past, but in my present. I do, theater and improvisational comedy, and I play music, and I do visual art. I'm a painter.
And you paint really cool pictures of Mr. Spock.
I do. It's one of your favorites. And, maybe a late birthday present would be in order. Some of these, I blew that one. But yeah, so I'm kind of a little crazy schizophrenic in that arena, but I realize a lot of these, a lot of people in different creative disciplines have the same issues that they deal with, the same, positive aspects, but a lot of the negative ones too. And so I'm sort of on a mission. And this has kind of run through a lot of my writing throughout the year, this sort of self-reliance and self-empowerment and kind of, boosting people up instead of the negativity that a lot of experts sort of have dished out over the years about discouraging people. If you're not cut out for this, it's going to be hard, and all that. And it is. I mean, there's a lot of effort involved, but I'm here to sort of encourage people because I think that the role of the artist in society has been downplayed, not only by society, but I think in particular by creative people themselves. I think we are often our own worst enemies, and we sort of walk around and apologize for, that we are interested in a creative field and have to sort of explain, and then we refer to ourselves as starving and struggling, and I'm never going to make any money with it, but I'm just going to try, and so I'm just out, I guess, to make more and more of a focus on this empowerment about stepping into your power as an artist, because as I mentioned, I think maybe in the last episode, when you think back through history, you think about the great civilizations of the past, what you remember is the architecture, the art, the music, the fashion, the poetry, the literary works that came out of these different eras. Those are have lasting impact on society. And art is, and music, and not only for recreation but for cultural reasons, is so important. So I think that the value of creative people has just been deflated over the years, again, by society and by artists themselves, and I'm out to change that.
That's amazing. Did you have a chance to see that movie Monuments Men yet?
Yeah, you mentioned that in an episode a week or two ago, and I have not. I forgot to look it up.
And one of the things about that movie is they said, when Adolf Hitler was going out to conquer the world, what he wanted to do was take away. He says you can take away the people, but when you take away their art, is when you actually erase a culture, erase a society from existence. You can take the people away. Like, for a perfect example of that are some of these cultures, these ancient cultures. Like the ancient Aztecs, the Egyptians, all that. Those people do not exist, but their culture, their art, their monuments are still with us today. And are part of who we are. So it's important for us as artists, no matter what type of discipline, whether it's musical, the written word, the painted picture, that we keep doing this so that, we can continue to add to the fabric of our society.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what, and I don't want to belabor Hitler at all, but wasn't he like an art student at an early part in his life, and maybe he got turned down or something, and was I don't know. It was some kind
he was totally into the arts, and that's when he realized his appreciation of the art. Again, not to glorify the person, but his appreciation of art and the power that it has to solidify and unify and inspire an entire civilization, an entire culture, the world. So, people, all of our fans and followers are listening to this show. You are way more powerful than you think. Don't let them tell you that you're not important, because what you do is going to last a lot longer than all these financial planners out there and all that other stuff. You know?
Yeah, and it's also not only listening to what people tell you, but it's listening to the voices in your own head. In fact, as part of this promotion, or as part of the 30 days, it's a 30-day fan funding campaign. I'm using a site called Rocket Hub instead of Kickstarter or Indiegogo. It's just one that a friend of mine used, and I really kind of liked what the site was up to. But to sort of get the word out, I'm doing a very ambitious project where every day for 30 days in a row, up until July 2nd, I'm releasing a new video and an audio podcast of the same lesson. They're anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes long, but it's a series called 30 Ways to Become an Empowered Artist. Just an idea I came up with. I just kind of jumped on it, announced it, and now I'm realizing, oh my God, I got to actually record, edit, upload, all these every day. So it's been a grind, but people have really been responding well to them. And I guess if we can, I could maybe touch on some of the things that I talk about in this series, and then I'll link to the playlist. They're free videos on YouTube. I've got a playlist where you just want to go to those videos, and then they're audio podcasts at thebuzzfactor.com too. But people just sell themselves short. And so while we all would maybe strive to have a lasting impact, like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci and all these people. That's the goal, is to have a legacy like that. But you don't have to be. And I guess today that would be like the pop star, or the people that are the high profile household names type of people. Although many of the people that are renowned, like Van Gogh and so on, they were not well known necessarily in their day. So you can't actually, unfortunately, after you're gone, be recognized and all of that. But there are many ways to serve as an artist. You don't have to be a household name. You don't have to be a blockbuster or superstar or the bestseller list. You can still do it in your community, with your family. Do it on whatever level is right for you. But you can touch people and have an impact and create a legacy on whatever level is comfortable for you. And we talk a lot about making money. I know you're going to be doing a series about how to be a full-time musician. And so there's a lot of, interest in this topic, like I've been making a living from my writings and various creative activities, but that is not necessarily has to be the goal of every person. You might be happy with your day job or like that security, but you can still make an impact and pour time and effort into your art because it's what you were meant to do. It's going to benefit people. So there are many reasons that creative people are drawn to do whatever it is that they do, whether it's music or writing or visual art or whatever. And some of the early reasons that people are drawn to that is just for a sense or sort of self-satisfaction. You know, they set a goal to create a painting or to write a song, and then they do it, and it feels good. You know, from within, you're like, I accomplished this. That feels awesome. And then another reason that people create is for recognition or credibility. That's when someone recognizes you for being that songwriter or being that artist. They compliment you on your work, and that feels good too. So one of them, the stimulus, comes from within, the self-satisfaction. Another one, it comes from outside of yourself when you're recognized. You know, and this is all fine and dandy, but a real turning point comes, and this is what I like artists to focus on, when you realize or when you start doing your art for the benefit of others. And that doesn't come about until you start sharing it. So you get out of the basement or out of your bedroom or whatever and start posting it either online or at galleries, or you play open mic nights or whatever, and you get positive feedback from people. And that is the key to building a career and a legacy. And if you want to, that's also the key to making money, is when you focus on that benefit. And so, yeah, we talk about that a lot, about, how your music benefits people. And that's how you market yourself. You push that benefit. You don't talk about yourself and I'm so cool, look at me. But hey, if you'd like to be lifted up by this type of song, or if you want to chill out to this mellow music, if you need to de-stress, here's here's something that you can help you do that. But I should mention, even though this show, Music Marketing Monday, obviously our audience is primarily musicians, this campaign, this movement that I'm on is for creative people of all types. So if you know a writer, if you know a visual artist, someone that's into doing theater or photographer, I mean, there's just so many different, even clothing designers or whatever. This is all geared for them. So please share the links that are in the show notes with your friends. Especially before July 2nd, I would love to have your support with this. It's about a book actually called The Empowered Artist. That's the focus of the campaign. But again, it's part of a bigger movement and a mission. And as you know, Billy, these crowdfunding things, they have all different levels of support.
Yeah, I know. I know you have like a $10 basic level, which is pretty cool. They got $25 level. The one I really like, is the $50 level, because you get the autographed paperback copy of the book shipped to you with a thank you card from Bob. Yay! That's right. Awesome. Yeah. I love that. But you know what, man? And what's really cool, like if you got some friends that are into Bob, like I've been for so long, it's always, maybe I don't say this enough, man. I know we do this show and people are like, man, these guys are buds and everything. But the truth of the matter is, we have a relationship a lot like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Lennon was like inspired Paul, and Paul always says, we were friends, but I was John's biggest fan and he inspired me. And that's kind of our relationship, Bob. I still look up to you and you inspired me always. And I'd say if you know somebody out there that could be inspired, take a look at that $100 level, because you get 2 autographed books. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. and you get your name. You also get your name and website in the book. And yeah, at the lower levels, yeah, you can I'll be creating a private Facebook group, and I was having a free or like an exclusive like teleclass in a couple of months for people that are at different levels. But thank you for saying that, though. Yeah, I agree. We're a lot like Lennon and McCartney, maybe minus the millions in song royalties.
Well, it's going to come, man. We're as we empower ourselves
and others.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, interesting about the Facebook group. There's something else I want to say. That's another thing that you've done that actually changed my life for the best. Is when I went through your programs, and one of the benefits of the program was you would offer these private Facebook groups, which I was not hip to. And I found the joy of Facebook groups and the communication and the camaraderie and the sharing of information. And it led me to form the Music Marketing Mind Facebook group, which was the step one to where I'm at now and the things that I do now. And, if you're going to be offering that as a benefit to your Empower Artist campaign, that right there is going to change lives. It's all about connections. It's all about knowing people, the synergy, the interaction, and I can't recommend it high enough. So, if you're really going to do that, Bob, that's going to change people's lives. That's worth more than any of the levels, honestly.
Oh, cool. I think you get that at the $25. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think you actually get access to that. Yeah, starting at like $25. That private. And so your Music Marketing Mind is open. It's a public. I think for the most part, right?
Right. My group is public. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
And you have hundreds of other people. So this will be a private one. So only people who supported the book will be part of it. But it'll be a pretty proactive, group of people. And I like this. I'm hopeful that group will be active and hopefully. I would love for this to lead to other things down the line. Like I'd love to do live events, whether they be called, the Artist Empowerment Summit or whatever. Maybe do it in different cities or something. Maybe have online mastermind groups that I would create and facilitate. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to see where this goes. So it's just like I recommend to artists, try stuff. You put it out there, and if energy flows to it, if people are responding, I will go with it. But I'm just really eager to see if this is a launching pad for a next chapter of my career here, and it's all about inspiring people. This 30, but I really highly encourage you to listen and watch the 30 ways to become an empowered artist. Again, I think I've figured out by the time all 30 videos are released, it'll be like close to 3.5 hours worth of material. So it's a lot of content.
And again, you're putting all that content out for free, right?
I am, yes.
Wow.
And so if you benefited from the free stuff that I'm putting out and put up with the little plug at the beginning and the end of each one, it's really, I really try to pack them with value and getting some great response. So even if you just want to say thanks for that, then support the effort at the $10 level or whatever, whatever level is right for you. But however you want to look at it. But I know like the very first video, I'll just touch on this and then we probably wrap it up here soon if you like. But I know the very first video is I think one of the first steps to being an empowered artist, and that's to give yourself permission to succeed. And that's why I made this the very first video, because a lot of times artists are looking for that validation. I said there's the first reason we create is self-satisfaction. The second is recognition and credibility. And that's cool to enjoy that. But sometimes people rely on that outside validation more than they should. When they attach it to their self-worth, their self-confidence, it can be kind of dangerous. And so the first thing you need to do is just give yourself permission to be an artist, to be a writer, to pursue this path without having to apologize or, and I know sometimes you can get, negative. You can get either encouragement or lack of encouragement from your family, your friends, your significant other, and that can maybe alter your perspective here. But you have to first give yourself permission to succeed. And it sounds like you and I probably did that a long time ago, Billy.
Oh yeah, and as far as I told you a long time ago, the reason that I originally got into this anyway was very simply, I just wanted to be the center of attention. That was it. That's what inspired me, because my uncles, my aunts, my mom, my dad, my grandfather were all singers and entertainers. And when they would start doing their thing, everybody would stop paying attention to the cute little 5-year-old and they'd start paying attention to them. And it ticked me off. So I figured I'm going to have to start doing this if people are going to pay attention to me. So right. I gave myself permission to be the center of attention, and I still do it.
You do, but I think so like a lot of people, you did it more for self-serving reasons at first.
Yes.
But I'm sure that's the kind of the part of the evolution of an artist. Over time, you realize, not only am I serving myself, but this stuff actually is meaningful to other people.
Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you what I've learned is, and this has to do with health too. And I'm sure Pookie would really have a few words to say about this, is you got to totally take care of yourself first. You know what I mean? You have to love yourself. You have to take care of yourself. And you got to be in a good place before you can share anything with others. You know what I mean? Or you can even take care of others. And so it sounds selfish to be thinking of yourself first. But if you can't think of your own needs first to take care of yourself, how are you going to inspire or create or help anyone else? Just truly.
Right. No, that is a good point. That's why I always think, even though success requires working with other people, it requires a fan base, which is definitely outside of yourself. It starts from within and then it radiates out. But a lot of people start from looking for validation, like, oh, I need a degree to feel worthy, or I need somebody to tell me that I'm, that it's okay to pursue this. And it's okay to get feedback. Again, don't attach it too much to your self-worth. To step into it. Now, I also like to give the other side of the coin there. I'm not saying be boastful. Don't start walking around going, I'm God's gift to whatever, creative field that I'm in. That's really not the best way to approach it. And don't think that just because you decided to be a musician or an artist or a writer that the world owes you a living, because it doesn't, unfortunately. You still have to earn that, and you have to learn, skills in marketing, and you have to hone your craft. You have to become so darn good that they can't ignore you, as Steve Martin, I think, was quoted as saying in one of his books. And so I'm just trying to balance this out, but it starts with you stepping into that role and that power and then acting on it. So it's not just a mental thing. You can't just sit there and go, I'm a writer, I'm a professional writer. You have to actually write, or you have to play. So
absolutely. Yeah.
And I go through all this stuff in this video series too.
Yeah. I mean, the title of your movement is not the entitled artist.
Good point. I love that. Yeah. It's the empowered artist.
Right. There's a difference between feeling entitled and feeling empowered. And I think that's a really good point. And I got to tell you, I recommend if we used to give homework out here. We kind of don't do that so much anymore. But I would recommend, I'm not even going to call it homework. I'm going to say, I think everyone should entitle themselves to the little empowerment. And if nothing else, check out these videos, this information you're putting out there for free with no obligation. Right, Bob?
Absolutely, yeah, and you'll find things on the playlist there, like how to obliterate the perfection curse, harsh truth about positive thinking for artists, a little unique spin on that. Straight talk about making money with your music, your art, your writing. It's a whole, I just slice and dice. I really put a lot of thought into what 30 things, and believe it or not, there were more things that I could have added to the list, but I had to stop at 30 because that's the number of days of the campaign.
I believe it. And remember, there are empowered artists, writers, artists, performers, songwriters, actors that are actually out there doing it every day, whether it's for a living, feeding their family, or just feeding their soul, or just sharing their talents because that's what they have decided to do. And why not you?
Right. And there are many different paths to success in the arts, as there are people who are pursuing it. And so there's not one, and you have to find your way. But it helps. But if these videos and this movement that I'm on, and the new book that I'm working on of that name, if that helps you to get clearer, feel more confident, feel better about yourself, and not to downplay your role, then I will have done my job.
And you always do, man. You always do. So we've pretty much, we usually wrap up the show saying, so Bob.
Yeah, what are you up to?
What are you up to? What you got going on?
I will tease people with this. We had a conversation earlier before we to set up what time we're going to be recording this today, and you did mention something that really has me intrigued. I'm thinking about. I'm not definitely committing to it, but I'm seriously thinking about taking you up on the suggestion that you had, and on July 2nd, which is the last day of the campaign, to do like maybe I probably will limit it to an hour or two, but I'll do like a live YouTube video telethon or something where I'll just get on, answer questions, chat with people, and then also be doing some shout outs for people that are supporting the campaign.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's a great idea.
I'll be at Summerfest that day, the world's largest music festival. And I'll actually be there the day that Joan Jett's there. And if Joan Jett, by the way, Joan, if you're listening to the podcast, yes, or you have if anybody out there knows Joan Jett, this is what I have to say for this week. I have a plea. If anybody personally knows Joan Jett, my wife is one of your biggest fans. She can't make it to the show. Now, for her birthday a couple of years ago, I bought her a Cyndi Lauper Barbie, autographed, and I got her a Joan Jett Barbie unautographed. And I'm going to be bringing my Joan Jett Barbie doll with me that day, and I'm hoping that somebody that knows Joan Jett is going to contact me and say, yeah, we'll get Joan to sign it for your wife because, That's how awesome she is, and that's how awesome you are. Whatever. So, Joan Jett fans, help me out get this signed. I'll be at Summerfest on July 2nd, and Bob's going to be having his big party, hopefully, on July 2nd. You can always reach me at Music Market Mind on Twitter. Reach out there. Hashtags, you can always put Music MM. You can also find me at musicmarketingmind.com. And Bob, I know they can reach you at The Buzz Factor. Is that correct?
That's correct. TheBuzzFactor.com, and look for, there's usually an image in the right-hand side about what the Artist Empowerment Movement. You can click that to find out more about the fan funding campaign. And if nothing else, go and watch the video that I created for the welcome video on the campaign page on Rocket Hub. Because I got a little fired up, and I really do articulate this whole this passion and this mission that I'm on. And I think it's worth watching that alone. So,
right, and you could also just go to rockethub.com and do a little search there. And
I think if you search for Bob Baker, I should come up.
Yeah, you sure do. I'm on the first page here, so I'm checking it out right now. So anyway, I love to thank all the fans, first-time listeners, long-time listeners, long-time readers of Bob's work, and I guess we're out of here. And next week we're going to do that Twitter thing, and I've already gotten a ton of emails and messages on things that people want to cover on Twitter. I'll share those with you, Bob, before the next show so we can chat about it. Cool. But we're going to be talking about Twitter and how Music Marketing Mind went from 336 Twitter followers to almost 1,400 Twitter followers in 60 days.
Awesome. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, it's awesome. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. Right. Okay, this is Billy Gryzak.
This is Bob Baker saying step into your power as an empowered artist. See you next time.
Back in the phone booth.
Are you still there? Excellent! Now would be a good time to visit hostbaby.com for your free 30-day trial. Of course.